episode of Real Talk, and today we have the lovely Ben Young with us. And look, you're up to the devilment already, and we're not even started.
No, I'm just, I always like, so we've done a couple of these interviews together and people have seen us on video. I always worry about you. So maybe we could just start by, I always like to ask you, how are you doing? Because yesterday I came home and I don't know, you seemed like you were a little off or under the weather or something. It's nice to see you're in a different frame of mind and a different mood today. But maybe we could talk a little bit about how the day kind of ended yesterday and where we're at today, just to make sure we can get this.
I had a great day yesterday. Yes. My girls on the team, they all got winner circle, and we just decided to celebrate on a Thursday afternoon. But we're going to stop that right now.
Okay,
and we're going to talk about playing in sandboxes, a different one.
Different sandboxes.
And the sandbox that we're going to talk about is the provincial and the municipal government, because they're not playing together right now at all.
I know, and it's from the outside, some people can think it's entertaining to sit back, because in the past, and I'm in the development community, and we would be sitting there, and I wouldn't say we were, fighting in the sandbox, but it's a bit of a battle between the city and developers and trying to get things approved and that. So some people find this entertaining, that you can kind of sit back and say the province and HRM, it's almost like we can be a spectator instead of in the throes of it right now. And I know we'll get into a little bit more. I hope it gets resolved quickly, because it's not a good thing. I think they both have similar agendas, and they know we have a housing crisis and it needs to be fixed. So they need to get beyond the bickering and into a territory where it's going to be more productive.
So I think it took a lot of guts for Lohr to come out and say, you know what, I am just going to bypass you, Mr. and Mrs. City Council, and I'm going to approve things.
Well, I'm not sure if he has the authority to do it first. So when you have the authority, it doesn't take a lot of guts. You can go ahead and do it.
Nobody just came out, hey, we're taking that away from you.
Yep. And sometimes be careful what you wish for. There's a lot behind the scenes. But so people are saying, is it a good thing or is it a bad thing? I think it's a good thing that they're forcing a call to action.
Yep.
I think it's a bad thing that they haven't found a way to work effectively together. But I think it's a good thing that they both recognize we have a housing crisis. So forget about your turf, and it shouldn't be about turf wars and who has the authority and everything else. Let's get back to the matter at hand. We have a housing crisis. Like, we have people living in tents. We have people that can't afford apartments, can't afford homes, can't get homes if they could afford them. That's the real issue here. Like the rest of it. And we're really lucky to live in Halifax. I love the city. I think it has great opportunity. And so it's a bit disappointing that we're in the middle of this, and I hope we turn the page really quick and get to the next part. So was it courageous? Yeah, I think it was. I think a lot of other governments would not have done it, to get back to your question. And am I glad they took the step? I'm glad they took the step, and that it brings awareness to the situation.
So do you think that, so this housing situation didn't happen overnight. It's something that has been, happening for quite some time.
Going.
Yes, I am.
I'm going to have to be like you yesterday afternoon, and whatever medicine you were on or whatever got you in a good mood, I may have to go to that happy juice. This is super frustrating. Like, they could see this coming for years. We were running a deficit. We're issuing. So, we're talking about, look at all the cranes in the sky. Look at all the permits we're issuing. Yeah, but the city's growing way faster than that. You could see the writing on the wall. We're producing X number of homes, and we have way more people coming to the city. We're running a deficit of 3,000 to 4,000 homes a year. It's not a surprise we have zero vacancy right now. So who should be surprised about that? It's just, I have no explanation how they can look back and say, well, we should have seen this coming 3 or 4 years ago.
So do you think Seton Ridge would have got pushed along a lot quicker?
Yeah, Seton's a great example. That should have been built.
That's 13 years.
Yes.
In the making.
Yeah, it should have been built by now. And would it have solved the problem? No. Would it have contributed to a part of the solution? Absolutely. And that's something else. I'm not sure if it's in your questions or not, but there's a lot of different things going on, and people are saying, well, this isn't going to fix the problem, and that's not going to fix the problem. And they're right. On its own, it will not. There is no silver bullet for this. It is going to take a long time to fix it, and every little bit is going to make a difference. But Seton is a great example of something that went on too long, and could have been part of the solution over the years, instead of now being something where people are saying, okay, let's get this thing going as quickly as we can.
Yeah. So I was going to break this down in 2 parts, but now
just because I'm not smart enough to answer them one part of the time, or is this, so I'm not sure where we're going with. I know when you have, depending on who you have on the other side of the chair. Anyway, you go ahead.
So, you hear Mayor Mike talk about, about the labor, and, is that one of the issues that you think we have labor shortage?
Yeah, no, it's a real issue that could have been solved had we fed the inventory gradually over the years. So if we're, instead of, running a deficit of 3,000 or 4,000, if we were on par and we were building up the labor force as we went along, we would not have the problem that we have now. The reason we have the problem is because we're in crisis mode. Can it be solved? Yes, it can be solved. Yes, we can build more homes. It will take some time to get there, so you're not going to turn on a dime. We can fix the labor issue. People should not be focused on that and say, well, it's not about anything else, it's about labor. No, labor needs to be fixed to address it, but that is not a get a jail free card that we can kind of lean on that and say, well, this is the real issue now. That is not the real issue. The real issue is we do not have enough homes, period.
And I know that they just came out with the HST rebate. Do you see that making a difference in your world when it comes to high rises?
It's making a huge difference. There was a lot of people who were going to sit on the sidelines, and it was going to be shovels down. We've had huge inflationary pressure both on the labor and the supply chain. We've had rising interest rates, so people will go on the ground with a project assuming that their takeout mortgage is going to be based on a certain interest rate, and that's gone up, and that will prevent them from taking on their next project if they don't have equity. Like, this is the one thing that I've seen in my whole career that is going to make the most difference in keeping the machine moving forward. Like, there's never been a time that we needed that kind of support from the government, where they acknowledge that, okay, we have too many government imposed charges on homes that will prevent people from building homes, right? It doesn't pen out. People can't get projects in the ground that are going to make sense financially. So it's now taking projects that otherwise would not have been built and will absolutely be built now because of this.
So Ben, I'm going to break our video into two different parts, as mentioned, and I want to come back and talk about things that we can do to solve the HRM issue that we're having here with our housing. Is that good with you?
Well, I charge per video, so as long as you can afford it. I know things are a little tough in real estate, but if you think we can work on something on the bill, I'll give you a discount on the second one. Let's put it that way. Well, I mean, I want to cooperate. I want to be part of the solution, not part of the problem.
I think you're the problem today. Anyway, thank you, and we'll come back for part two.